Okay, let us talk about increasingness, decreasingness and being constant of a function. A function is increasing in an open interval if f of x 1 is less than f of x 2 whenever x 1 is less than x 2 for any x 1 x 2 in the interval. So, basically a function is said to be increasing in a particular region, in a particular interval, if the larger the x, the larger the value of the function, the larger the x, the larger the y. If for larger x value the corresponding y value is large in any interval, we say the function is increasing in that interval. Similarly, a function is decreasing, I am sorry, this should be decreasing. A function is decreasing, in an open interval if f of x 1 is more than f of x 2 whenever x 1 is less than x 2. What basically this means is the larger the x, the smaller the y. If there is an interval where larger x corresponds to smaller y, we say the function is decreasing in this that interval. This is not right. So, I mean constant here. A function is constant in an open interval if f of x 1 equals f of x 2 whenever x 1 less than x 2 for any x 1 x 2 in the interval. So, constant means regardless of what x is, y value remains the same. If there is a function whose y value remains the same regardless of the value of x in any interval, any region, then we call the function is constant in that region. Let us look at one example, and I will just draw a graph of a function, and we will see what do we mean by increasing, decreasing and being constant for a function. This is our x axis, this is our y axis. Let us say we have a function something like this. Okay. Let us say, well, this is 0, let us say this is x equal to a, some number, let us say this is x equal to b, another number. If we look at this function, see, if I look from negative infinity, see the function is going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up to this point. See, the larger the x, the larger the y. The more x is, the more y is. Starting from here, starting from in fact negative infinity, the function is going up, rising and rising and rising. If the graph is rising, that is increasing function. So, I can say this function is increasing for negative infinity to 0. So, any x from negative infinity to 0 in this entire interval from negative infinity to 0, the function is going up and up and up. So, it is increasing. Now, from 0 to a, in this region the function is going down means it is decreasing. So, I can say decreasing for x equal to 0 up to a. From x equal to 0 to a, the function is decreasing. Okay. Next, well, if I look from A to B, see the y is same for any x in the interval A to B, y is same. So, that is what we mean by the function to be constant. So, this function is constant, from x equal to A to B, constant for x equal to for A to B. Next, starting from B all the way up to infinity, the function is going up and up and up. That means it is increasing at that region also. So, increasing from for B to positive infinity. Starting from B all the way up to positive infinity, the function is increasing. So, I can summarize this result and I can say this function is increasing from negative infinity to 0 and so this function is increasing for negative infinity to 0 as well as B to infinity. So, that's COP is the mathematical symbol that represent, well, it is increasing from negative infinity to 0 and again increasing from B to positive infinity, negative infinity to 0 and B to positive infinity. Now, decreasing as we already know is from 0 to A. So, I can say decreasing in between 0 to A. So, this is the interval from 0 to A, the function is decreasing, and as we have already seen, constant, this function is constant in the interval from A to B. So, by looking at a graph of a function, we can identify where the function is increasing, where the function is decreasing, and where the function is constant. Now, if we go back in our previous example, if we think of this function is always increasing, it is going up and up for everything. So, we can say this function is increasing from negative infinity all the way up to positive infinity. If we look at this graph, this function is increasing from this A, x equal to A, all the way up to here, some x value, I do not know how much it is, and it decreases from this x value all the way up to this x value, and again it increases. So, by looking over a graph of a function, we can identify where the function is increasing and where the function is decreasing.